Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Fate Reforged Swiss draft. And opened a Tarka World Render, pretty big dragon. I lost to it in my last draft, so I probably first pick it, but doesn't exactly go with my theme of wanting to speed up my decks. I think I can. I mean, I can still make it work. Basically, I need to focus on having more early game. I mean, if I wanted to play it real safe, I guess I could take something like Sandblast, which is just nice, cheap removal. But a Target, I mean, there's certainly enough upside in taking a Target here, so I will. Yeah, I mean, you get in a couple times with him, and your opponent dies. So can't really argue with that. The 4 toughness, I would actually, at the cost of damage, I would much prefer a Tarka was a 5/5 since there is a lot of 4 damage removal, even at common in both cons and Fate Reforged. But it is tough to argue with a double striking trampling flyer. That is pretty absurd. Lightning Shrieker for the combo? No, I don't think we need to second pick that. Let's figure out what we want here. So we're already kind of committed to both green and red, although one of those could potentially be a splash. Ruthless Instincts is a trick I have not yet played, but it does seem very good. Yeah, both modes seem very good. I don't mind second picking that. I could take the best teamer card, which is the Surveyor, which is a card I actually do like quite a bit. Committing myself to teamer immediately. Is that a problem? Maybe. We're looking pretty color intensive pick 2 if I take the Surveyor, but Surveyor is a very good card. I don't want to second pick a Naya card. I don't think that's right. I could take the Ruthless Instincts, but like I said, my only direction I can go with green red is teamer or some other combo splashing one of those. I'm just going to take the Surveyor and hope that I am correct that I'm just going to end up making a good teamer deck, I guess. Or hope to. All right, Cloud Form's a great one to pick up here. So I could go focus green, blue, splash red, or focus blue, red, splash green. So either of those options are quite good. Cloud Form's a fantastic card. I'd love to get an Tarka with that one. That would be great. Get the hexproof flying trample double strike. That would be insane. I'm kind of happy I picked up the Surveyor here if I'm picking up this Cloud Form, which I do think is just the best card remaining in this pack. So that's a good sign. I always get my 1, 2, 3. Am I over? Can never measure this correctly. There we go. Well, Shockmaw Dragon is a big dude, and he is a dragon. Does have a relevant ability. Downside is he's very expensive. I mean, I could take Thornwood Falls. Kind of don't mind taking the Shockmaw Dragon. And then maybe focus blue-red. Green would give me ramp, though. Guess we could have our end game on lockdown if I pick up the Shockmaw Dragon. I mean, Shockmaw is a great card. I'm getting expensive and color intensive, though, which worries me. I have some concerns. But cloud forming a Shockmaw Dragon's pretty huge, too. I guess I'll take the Shockmaw here. Jeez. I feel like I'm asking for it once again. All right, Whisper of the Wilds is one of the best commons you can get. Issues with taking it here. I feel like I've already kind of committed myself to the green splash. I could just take Right Into Being, which is actually just another manifest card for our 2 Bomb Dragons, is probably fine. I mean, I want Whisper of the Wilds, but like I said, I don't really appreciate the card that much on the splash. And at this point, considering we have 2 double blue, 1 double red, I think I'd rather let's just focus on the red-blue and then splash the green. I actually like that more. Atarka is a fine splash card. I like the Rugged Highlands here too, but I actually want Manifest for our deck, especially cheap Manifest. Okay, now we get just a really nice Thornwood Falls, which I'll happily take here. Enhanced Awareness would be fine. I like that. Refocus, more of a Jeskai card, and Will of the Naga is actually a fine card too, but Thornwood Falls seems correct here since green's going to be our splash color. Okay, here I think we want, I don't really like Smoldering Efreet unless we're beat down, which I always want to do, but then I always get attracted to 7-drop dragons, and that quickly goes away. So instead, I mean, I can take Efreet. It's really not a card you want to protect yourself and get in the late game since it punishes you when it dies. I guess I take Enhanced Awareness here, but admittedly not that exciting. Otherwise, it's like Return to the Earth maybe, or refocus rather. We'll take Enhanced Awareness. It's a fine card. I don't have any problems taking it. Just getting late Whisper of the Wilds, really? All right. Well, that's absurd. So if we're going to get late Whisper of the Wilds, maybe we do go green, blue, splash red, and Shock Maw Dragon just doesn't work. Otherwise, I take a Goreswine, which is a fine card. Certainly significantly worse than Whisper of the Wilds. But it does trade and attack reasonably well. Green, blue, splash red. Let's go Whisper. All right, we're going to get that late of a Whisper. I'll take it. If it doesn't pan out, so be it. All right, Rite of Undoing seems like a fine card to have. Otherwise, it's like Fierce Invocation, which is fine. But Rite of Undoing, I think, is actually pretty good. Your opponent uses a removal spell. In response, I'll delve, pay 1 mana, return my creature you're going to kill, bounce one of your creatures too. Yeah, I think Rite of Undoing is the pick here. Okay, so good green cards. We did get the Lightning Shrieker back, more dragons, but this is much more of a beatdown card, which I don't think I want. So Ruthless Instincts is very good. I could see that being the pick. Yeah, we probably have enough in-game. I'll probably just take the nice combat trick. Okay. So we're focusing on green, blue, splash red now. So let's take the Battlefront Crew Shock, which is just a fine card in general. Frontier Mastodon, just fine. Fruit of the First Tree. I've yet to play that one. Ambush Crotique, though, I don't really have. I guess it's good with Manifest if you have a spell that you flip that you want to cast, but we'll see if I want that. I guess the nice thing is if you flip it with a Manifest, you can just get a 5/5 Trampler, which is kind of nice. All right, I'll cut blue here. So I wish I had taken the second Whisper of the Wilds over the right into being now. But we ended up getting 1, which is still good. So, all right, I think Windswept Heath is likely just the pick in general because I want the tickets. Otherwise, Embodiment seems fine, but we'll very easily table that anyway. So I think we're just taking Windswept Heath. I think I'm going to play it too because we actually have a Delve spell. So it's nice that I get tickets as well as I'm able to use. I mean, Arc Lightning is very good. It's probably fine on the splash, but I'm going to minimize red in this deck if at all possible until we really start seeing some fixing. So for now, I'm just going to take the 2 to 3 ticket card that I'm going to play regardless. Okay. Now we have another Thornwood Falls, which I think is actually the pick. Not much otherwise in this pack for us. We've got a big glaring hole in our 4-drop slot, which is interesting because we want to make use of this Whisper of the Wild. So I'd like some 4-drops, but there really is just nothing here that's super interesting for us. So we'll take the Thornwood Falls on color fixing. All right, Mystic is fine. It's not really what this deck wants. No green or blue, which is weird, besides the Mystic. Or even, I mean, there's good red, but I don't like the double red. I already have enough issues, I think, making that work in this deck. So let's take the Mystic, which is, it's a fine card. It's really not what this deck wants, but there's nothing in this pack otherwise. I keep blanking. How do I keep blanking on packs? Okay, so Alpine Grizzly I actually like quite a bit. Otherwise, I could take a Glacial Stalker, but I feel like I have my mana already kind of... And Alpine Grizzly just is a nice turn 3 after a Whisper of the Wilds. Woolly Loxodon's a very good card too. I'm going to hope to table Loxodon or Glacial Stalker, but I'm pretty happily taking Alpine Grizzly, especially since I'm in Teamer, which has a lot of rewards for Ferocious. Okay, I could take Incremental Growth, which is a pretty powerful card in general. We currently have 11 creatures counting Cloud Form and Right into Being, which is quite good. Incremental Growth's a pretty powerful card. I'd probably play it over Enhanced Awareness in this deck since we already have a fairly high curve. Otherwise, I could take Monastery Flock, but I don't really like it that much in this deck. I'd rather be more of like a ramp value deck than. I mean, this card is good at buying you some time, which our deck could use, but where are the 4-drop cards? Typically, the weird thing is 4-drop cards are like never difficult to find. So I'm confused why they are now, but we'll take the incremental growth. It's just got enough upside. Another 5-drop, really. Yeah, I mean, Bear's Companion is certainly the most powerful card. There is an embodiment, which at this point I think I would just take and play. But I think we've got another one that's going to wheel for us ideally. So let's just cut Enhanced Awareness at this point. Cut back on our 5-drops and take another really good one. Rugged Highlands seems like it's the pick. I'd like the Treasure Cruise, but we'll take Rugged Highlands. Good fixing. Savage Punch this late is fantastic. There is a Snowhorn Rider, which I'd also like, but I think we just got to take the Savage Punch. Excellent card with the Alpine Grizzly. Our deck needs some more removal. And actually, Frontier Mastodon's quite good with the Grizzly as well. All right, Embodiment and Teamer Charger. Our curve is looking really bad, which kind of makes me want to take the Embodiment. People tell me I value it too high, but I think I just have to disagree. Especially for a deck that's got a Tarka. I like the Teamer Charger. I do actually like the Teamer Charger, but I'm going to take the Embodiment. Feed the Clan. It worked out for me last time as a good sideboard option. Barrage of Boulders actually seems fine in this deck too, but I'm going to take Feed. Because I look like I'm once again going to fall victim to getting mercilessly beat down by aggro decks. So in pack 3, my fixing is actually decent, so I just really need to get cheap blue and green spells. Yeah, this is where I really could use that second Whisper of the Wilds. None of these cards matter, so I guess I'll take the rare. Teamer Banner. I might actually end up playing it. There's a realistic chance, considering our curve. We really need to go to 3 to 5. I actually think this is a banner deck. I don't need either of these. Guess I'll take the banner. Dreadmaw, sure. All right, so pack 2 is a little bit disastrous for us there, actually. We've still yet to find a 4-drop slot, which is like just ridiculous. We have 13 creatures, which is fine. We need 4 more playables because we are going to be an 18-land deck. I guess it is starting to look a little bit more like a Monastery Flock deck but I still don't like Flock with the fight cards very much. Well, how many 4-power guys do we really have? Just the Grizzly, a Bear's Companion, Crotique, Shockmaw, a Tarka. Shockmaw is going to be difficult to play, but I probably still play it. Okay, Thousand Winds is a great card. There's a Teamer Charm in here as well, which is good. And there's a Highland Game and a Tuskard Captain. But Thousand Winds has huge upsides, and you can play it relatively early. And it's just a powerful rare. I'm hoping to wheel Tuskard Captain or Highland Game, and I'm going to prioritize those over the next couple packs here, if I can. Let's see, Sagu Archer. No, I think we just slam a Teamer Charm here, actually. Good removal. It's versatile. The worst charm, but that's still okay. I think we'll table another embodiment too, which is probably fine. So let's just slam a Teamer Charm here, which is quite good. And someone correctly wrote that I most rarely play Teamer, which is absolutely true. I don't do it on purpose. I actually like Teamer a lot. It's just one of those things that sort of, I don't know, panned out that way. Still yet to find a 4-drop. I've never in my life had this much problems finding a 4-drop. Like I said, 4-drops are usually what's congested the most in your deck. So it's very strange to see a deck that is congested in the 3 and 5 slot. And like I said, because of our 5 slot having this many, I guess Rite of Undoing can be more like 3 to 4. But the banner is just looking a lot better in here. All right, Ascendancy and Jeskai Charm, which is insanely good for those. But I think we probably want the Snowhorn Rider. I guess we could take Longshot Squad. Um, Snowhorn Rider is just a nice card in general if I was a little bit better fixed. 5/5 tramples, pretty good actually. I don't want to second incremental growth. Could take the long shot squad, which works well with the incremental growth, and it actually puts something in our 4-drop slot. But why do I like Snowhorn Rider? It's a powerful card. 5/5 comes down at 3, at least morphs out. No 2-drop creatures, unfortunately. 1 or 2-drop. I could take Snowhorn Rider, which is certainly a better card than Stalker, albeit a little bit more color intensive. Let's just take the squad. I don't have a 4-drop yet. Maybe we table the Snowhorn Rider if no one's in Teamer. It's possible. Savage Punch number 2 is probably the pick. There is a Rugged Highlands, but at this point, I want to be able to, because Longshot Squad is another potential good one. With Savage Punch, potentially another good one. Like I said, Bear's Companion. I guess Crew Shock's not all that good with it. Well, I'm gonna take it anyway. It's having fight cards is important, even when you have to 2-for-1 yourself. Sometimes you just have to get a dude off the board, and it's just a strong fight card in general. All right, Highland game, we're just going to slam here. It's exactly what our deck wants since we need early game plays. What am I cutting? Probably the Crotique. I don't really need that. I'd rather have the Dragon and the Atarka, but maybe I play the Crotique over the Shockmaw if my mana sucks, which it might, but we have Embodiment and a Rugged Highlands. Probably, and a Banner, but I still don't know if that's enough. Definitely taking Highland game. Okay, now we have the choice of Become Immense, which is a nice finisher, but it's a combat trick as well, or Hooting Mandrills, which is also fine, and Awaken the Bear, which I like quite a bit. Awaken the Bear might be the card that's best with our double Savage Punch. You can go 5 mana, pump, punch something, get in with a huge trampler. It's not bad. Become Immense is a better card, but requires me having a lot of cards in my graveyard, which I don't know how realistic that is with this deck. I already have a Delve card in Rite of Undoing, which I think I like a little bit more. Become Immense is a great way to finish your opponent off, though. Maybe I just take the Become Immense. Kind of short on removal and tricks. I could see it being good. All right, Dragon Scale Boon seems quite good in this deck. I may just want the Wetland Sandbar since my early game is pretty atrocious. And I probably play it over. I want also more stuff for incremental growth too, so I could see the argument there. Maybe I cut the Shockmaw Dragon. I actually like it, but let's minimize red in this deck. Yes, I mean, it's good with a Tarka, but Tarka's good on its own. Could take the Flock here for more defense, but I actually want more aggressive stuff, I think, with the... I'm going to take the Sandbar, is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, I could take the Weave Fate, but actually Grizzly is exactly what this deck wants. Cheap works with our Savage Punch in an excellent manner. So this deck is at least starting to come together in a nice way. I think I'm going to cut Mystic. I don't really like how it works in this deck. It's always a great card in general, but for this deck, I'd rather have the 4-power dudes. Am I playing 17 lands too? That's a question. Tabling Teamer Charm is just amazingly good for us. Very happy with that wheel. Tells me no one's in Teamer. And Embodiment number 2, we can easily play 17 lands with double Embodiment. But I actually might not even do double. I mean, I'm going to take it, but I don't know if I'm doing it. Table the Snowhorn Rider, which is quite good too. So the good news about this deck, we have more than enough good playables, so that panned out nicely. And our red is very minimal in this deck. Double Charm, Snowhorn Rider, Companion, Atarka. So not that many spells, and we got a piece of fixing, and we have an embodiment for it. So I think we're going to be, and we have a banner too, which I still am considering playing. If I play banner plus embodiment, I think I might try and get away with 17 lands. But getting away with 17 lands with Atarka might be an issue. But I want to play all my 2-drop creatures because, like I said, I want to maximize the use of our incremental growth. We have 16 creatures currently. I could probably cut Battlefront Crew Shock. It doesn't give me It's still a good card with Savage Punch, but it doesn't give me Ferocious. I guess it does work well with incremental growth, but maybe I have enough 5 drops. I'm definitely playing Wetland Sandbar and Highland Game. There's just too many aggressive decks in the format. I need to have early plays, or I'm going to be in a bad spot. I like all of our 3 drops quite a bit. How many morphs do I have? Not that many, huh? I'm not cutting 1,000 wins. There's just too much upside to that card. It costs 7 to unmorph, though. Maybe I do need 18 lands. Maybe 17 lands Embodiment Banner is good. So if 17 lands Embodiment Banner is good, what am I cutting? I kind of want my combat trick still. Let's separate it out, and then I'll at least be able to evaluate a little bit better. So we have 2 Delve cards, Rite of Undoing and Become Immense. Become Immense can just finish the game. I kind of want the Rite of Undoing, though, alongside the Surveyor. This deck has a very much a lack of removal. Double Teamer Charm, double Savage Punch is actually good, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's good removal on the fight front. And we have Ruthless Instincts. And Incremental Growth's not a combat trick, but it's going to reward me for as many early creatures as I can get. Actually, hilariously enough, works with Embodiment of Spring. All right. Maybe do I play 18 lands? I feel like if I play 18 lands, I cut either the banner or the embodiment. And I think I would prefer to cut the, well, that's debatable. I was going to say I'd prefer to cut the embodiment, but it is a creature, so something to do with incremental, but maybe I'd still rather cut the embodiment over the banner. I don't actually know on that one. Would I prefer to run an embodiment or a banner? Embodiment requires more colors to work, but as a creature, Banner requires more mana on the top end, but it's still a pretty good card regardless. And I like that it goes from 3 to 5, although I'm kind of debating just cutting the Battlefront Crew Shot, because I actually think it's a good card, but not necessary in this deck. Like, we have enough finishers without it, and it doesn't give Ferocious, which I think is important. And remember, these are creatures as well. All right, I'm going to cut Battlefront Crew Shock, which kind of makes me want to cut the banner as well. Now that I'm like less 5 drops. But I do like that it ramps towards both 1,000 Wins and a Tarka. And I have Whisper of the Wilds. I think Embodiment, Whisper, plus 18 lands should be enough for this deck. Or I could cut Embodiment, run the banner. But banner with 18 lands feels weird. For some reason, Embodiment with 18 lands feels less weird because it's still a creature that can like block early plays at least. Although it admittedly does not block Death Touchers. I think I'm going to cut banner. Focus on the green-blue. And I probably do cut one more. I could play 17, but I have a 7 drop in here. I do have Embodiment and Whisperer. But is there a card that's like easily cuttable from our deck? We have 15 creatures currently with Cloudform and Right into Being, both of which I want. Especially since Cloudform can, flip one of our fatties. Although I guess Cloudforming a Bear's Companion would be pretty bad. But Cloudforming 1,000 Wins would actually be kind of good. 1 cheaper and I can turn it face up. It's actually kind of interesting. And it's a 5/6 flying hexproof. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Definitely not cutting Wetland Sandbar or Highland Game. Just early game plays have just become too important in this format. Do I want to cut one of my... I don't want to cut one of my fight or pump spells. I don't think. I think cutting the banner is actually correct because of just the sheer quantity of 3-drop creatures, or 3-drop spells rather, I already have. Having Embodiment at least keeps me relatively busy early, which I don't have a lot of. I do kind of want to play 18 lands in this deck, though. We don't have any card draw. We could if I play Enhanced Awareness, but then I have to make more cuts. Teamer Charm does not offer any card advantage, but it's like having 2 mana leaks in the deck, too. Color-intensive mana leaks. I think I'm going to do 18 lands. It may be a mistake, but I want to cast a Tarka as quickly and efficiently as possible since it's such a big finisher. And I do need to make a cut, though, which is becoming difficult. I honestly don't know. Maybe Rite of Undoing or Become Immense, one of the Delve cards can go. I don't have a ton of Into the Battlefield effects, so I could see cutting the Rite of Undoing. I guess it works well with Bear's Companion, giving me another bear. But if I cut the banner, maybe I can cut back on my 5 drops. I only have 4, though. It's not that many. Yeah, I guess I'm going to cut Rite of Undoing. I think I like Become Immense more. It's more of a bigger finisher, I think. Just a way to end the game. Become Immense is pretty insane at just saying, oh, okay, I win. Like Savage Punch, Alpine Grizzly, delve away everything, swing with Alpine Grizzly, get in for like 12 randomly. That could happen. All right, I'm going to cut Rite of Undoing. I actually like the card, but 2 Savage Punch, 2 Teamer Charm, Ruthless Instincts, Aven Surveyor. Feels like we have enough removal. We have 15 creatures, which is more than enough for incremental growth, I think, which is still quite good with all of our littler dudes. Okay. Let's sort by color. Very much green and then blue, and then we have 5 red spells. So let's figure this out. Let's bring in all of our fixing. I'm still going to play Windswept Heath for deck thinning and making Become Immense cheaper. So we have 4 sources of green already, which is nice, and 2 sources of blue, 1 source of red. So I'd like probably 4 more red. This is 10 green, 7 blue, 4 red, and it's more like 5 red with the embodiment. Maybe 4 red is okay with embodiment. So it's like 5 red, because I do want to hit my early green and blue if I want to make embodiment work in this deck, which I kind of do. So I kind of want to cut back 1 and go up to 8 blue, but maybe 8 blue is kind of greedy. No, I guess it's not if I want to play the turn 1 embodiment. So this is 9 green, 8 blue, 4 red, 5 with the embodiment, which I should count, I guess. All right, I think I'm going to do my mana base like this. Kind of an interesting mana base. I don't play Teamer very often, like I said. Overall, I do like the deck. We do look like we could flood out, but we have some good fatties, at least to make use of our mana. Like, yeah, we have some good fatties in here. Thousand Winds is great. Snowhorn Rider is very fat. Bear's Companion, fat. Early fat in Alpine Grizzlies. Atarka, of course, hugely good. This looks like a fun deck. I'm hoping we have enough early game. That is certainly debatable whether we do or not. But overall, it looks like a fine deck. So we're going to run it like this. And I'll see you round 1.